when I started to reinvent myself and I was like, I'm going to become happy, just like 99% of people out there, I'm like, I'm going to become so filthy, stinking rich that everybody's going to be sorry for anything they ever said to me. And I'm going to be so happy. And I'm going to sit on a beach drinking a pina colada saying, eat my dust, people, right? And so flash forward, 25 years, this past year, we sold our company. But meanwhile, fortunately, along the way, I was reading these books and realizing what life is really about and building these other things. These cores, by the way, didn't even come around until I sold my company. And I sat down, I said, what do I want to do with my life? Okay, I'm going to finish this book. What is life about? And I just kind of had to it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It's like taking as many jigsaw pieces as there are grains of sand on the earth and trying to put them all together. And fortunately, I had this epiphany, like, wait, it's about these areas. And, I realized that the career and the finances, ironically, when I sold my company and I got this big check, it felt amazing. I'm not going to lie, for 10 minutes. But then it was like, now what? Now what? Right. And that I want everybody, and I've said this a couple times on the show before, but I want everybody to hear that and to feel that, because we become so focused on things. And I like your term you used, the goodies, the wealth. And yes, that's, money it has its place. And so that's why it's one of your cores is career and finances, but it's not just go out and make money for the sake of money. It's what are you doing to make money? What is your career? Are you using your passions? Do you know what your passions truly are? Like what lights your fire? Or do you know what your strengths truly are? Are you combining those, and are you setting goals? Are you setting a purpose and moving towards that? And then as you're making money, you're incrementally growing it along the way with principles such as, from people like Rich Dad, Poor Dad and compounding passive income, these types of things, which people just don't seem to understand, right?
I can't understand why Rich Dad, Poor Dad isn't taught in the schools.
Should be. That changed my life financially. Yeah.
There would be so much more happiness in the world if people understood Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Tell me about it, right? And that's exactly my point. So part of this movement I'm trying to create, this more momentum, this movement of change, is to get people to see things like what we just said, and I want this stuff taught in schools. I want it taught early on. I want it ingrained. I want it part of the curriculum. Yes, math, science, history, these things are important. But when we're taking classes like advanced algebra and, trig bio chem 6 versus how to get along with others, how to make people feel special, right? How to balance your checkbook, how to grow your money passively, like we were just talking about. Like, whoa, come on. And so that's exactly what I'm trying to do and what I'm all about.
I'm just having a fantasy of being the Lord High Person in charge of public education. And boy, I would add Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I would add a whole lot of Dale Carnegie stuff.
How to Win Friends, of course, that would be top of the right. That should be required reading.
If again, my fantasy, if I'm Lord High Person in charge of it, zap has to be.
Well, let's do it, Mitzi. Let's
right.
Let's do it. You and I, we're gonna continue to collaborate after this. We're gonna work on this. I'm not kidding. This is a super passionate thing of mine. I want, especially now, like I said, I got these 2 little kids about to go through the system, and it's like, oh man. Like I serendipitously discovered How to Win Friends and Influence People, like accidentally, when I was in college. Had I read that book at 12 years old, and that had been taught, and there'd been a whole course designed around that, like my life would have gone completely different. I wouldn't have been suicidal at 18. You know what I'm saying? And how many other people are out there like that? So
millions and millions, because such basic important knowledge is invisible unless somebody points it out to you.
Right. And again, it's about connecting to their why. It can't just be, oh, you should make, the golden rule, do unto others. It's like, oh yeah, that goes in one ear, out the other. It's got to connect with people on a level, in a way. And that's why, instead of just like reading it on a post on Instagram and seeing it as a quote and liking it and then going to the next thing and it's gone forever, it needs to be an actual part of a curriculum. It needs to be weaved into the fabric of who they are, and they need to at least have the opportunity to have been exposed to it and get it and say, this is what your life could look like. And then at that point, they can make their choice. Maybe some people are going to say, I don't want to do this. That's fine. But at least you've been exposed to it, and you can't blame anybody else. And it goes back to that whole fixed victim versus growth owner is what I actually call it. It's
I
fixed
love
victim
that thinking.
versus,
I just love it.
right. It's creating these growth owners early on, creating these people that understand that they have everything within them to kick ass, take names, be whatever they want. Obstacles are temporary roadblocks, waiting for solutions, and no matter what, they're gonna be able to get to where they want to go. Versus, poor me, my brain's broken.
Yeah,
Somebody's not handing it to me.
Yeah, imagine if my father, when he was told you've got the worst human relation skills I've ever come across, had just accepted, okay, I suck. Now,
Right.
This is the most important thing in my life, and I'm going to transcend it.
And your father was very fortunate in a way, but I mean, he did it. So I don't want to make it sound like it just fell into his lap. Like he's the one that did the work, but it was fortunate that his brain worked in such a way that he said, okay, there's a challenge and I'm going to overcome it. Whereas a lot of people, and especially Mitzi, this day and age with this Insta generation we're living in, and these younger kids, this younger generation coming in, you can literally get anything you want with the click of a button, right? You can get your food delivered, you can get your packages delivered, you can get yourself delivered in a vehicle anywhere you want to go. Like, it's very easy to not have the self-discipline and to not be able and to stick to your commitments. It's becoming harder and harder. And back in the day, you know, when our great grandparents, they had to milk their own cows and they had to churn their own butter, and it was like that actually built character. And it's without having these types of principles and people teaching you in school, there's not as many opportunities to build character like there used to be.